the cheapest Mazda 3 costs as much as the most expensive Honda Civic FC. Does that make any sense? Is the Mazda 3 worth it? Let's find out. I want to thank this video sponsor MAHS PC Customs. These guys build custom PCs like the one you see over here, so they can build it to your specifications and your budget as well, and then they can even have it delivered to you, because that is the best solution right now. So these guys can even upgrade your existing systems or just upgrade like SSD or RAM and all that. They are the go-to guys for this kind of things. So get in touch with them on Facebook, Carousel and Shopee. The link is in the description below, and you can have your own PC built to your specifications right away. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Good morning guys. This is that Indian in my housing area about to warm up the Mazda 3 1.5 sedan. This is the lowest variant, the one they offer. It costs 135,000 give or take with the new tax exemption and all that, plus minus a bit from there. And I'm about to cold start it. This is actually my last day with the car. I decided to do the video. I already unlocked it. The last day with the car, so that I get to actually experience it nicely before telling you guys what it's like. So while this is cold starting, alright, so the Mazda 3, it costs 135,000, which is a very interesting thing here. This one costs 135. This is the lowest variant, remember. So to put it into perspective, the lowest variant Mazda 3 costs just as much as the most expensive Honda Civic FC. So okay, that's it's a bit hard to process that, because the Mazda 3 is a direct rival to the Honda Civic anyway. So you know, why is it priced so madly? Because the highest spec, the 2.0 high or something like that, the highest one costs 157,000, which is basically 160. So that is stepping into the Honda Accord slash Camry slash Mazda 6 kind of prices, which is it. I was very confused lah. I'm being honest with you guys. A lot of buyers out there and a lot of y'all seeing the brochures and the prices and all that, y'all are going to be feeling the same thing, because like you can't brain the price due to the fact that it just doesn't make sense for something of this size. But that's why I'm doing this review for y'all, so that I get to see what's it like to actually drive, what's it like inside, and then can actually tell y'all is it worth it or not. So let's go and check that out. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to That Indian Talks Cars. Follow me on Instagram as well. I'll give you guys a lot more updates from there. So let's go check out the Mazda 3. Okay, I reparked the car a bit in here because it's a normal working day, so people have gone out. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the performance this time. Under the hood, you get a 1.5 liter Sky Active G. This is Mazda's latest technology engines. All their engines are running that now. 1.5 liter, 118 horsepower, 118 and 153 Newton meters of torque. Is that enough? On paper, no. On paper, it doesn't sound enough for the price and the current trend nowadays, because the competitors are running turbo, and 118 is quite less. Of course, this is the lowest variant, but I wasn't impressed when I saw the numbers lah. But I wanted to see what this car is all about, because they are selling it for this price anyway. Okay, so it is mated to a 6-speed auto, which is absolutely bloody amazing. Okay, the auto gearbox in this car is just so nice. The hidden fact about the 1.5 is the fact that the gearbox that comes with the 1.5 liter engine has a shorter final drive, so the flare revs better. First, second, third, it really does climb up the rev load, and you do not feel the fact that it's only 118 horsepower. When you're driving it hard, you don't feel it. And what I love about the gearbox is the fact that it will drop the gears for you when you put it in sport mode and you're driving hard. For example, you're driving like a toge kind of vibe, you're pushing the car hard around corners and all that. You don't get pedals. Let me do it from inside lah. Okay, you don't get pedals, but you can put it into manual mode here. The thing is, even without putting it into manual mode, the car will do perfect drop shifts for you when you're driving it hard. Like absolutely perfect. Honestly, perfect drop shifts, because I was driving it and I was pushing the car pretty hard to find out the handling and all that. And because I had to squeeze a lot to try and get the power out of it, and it's like, wow, okay, there is actually sufficient power. Somehow it's able to put it down. So I was very happy with that. Then when the corners were coming, I brake hard to turn in, I realized that I wasn't needing to find somewhere to manipulate the gears by myself. It was doing it by itself. It was doing so well. Like, I enjoyed it so much. Drop for you. I can cut in a clip hopefully for y'all, because I cannot do that much on the public road anyway. So that was very nice. That is something which no other car in this segment has. The chassis, I'm putting it out there. I have a lot of people asking me about this, but I'm putting it out there that the Mazda 3, thanks to its GVC Plus technology, which is their new technology they have adapted into the chassis itself, has the best handling of its class. That's it. I said it. The Mazda 3 has the best handling in its class. Comment in the comment section or DM me if you think otherwise, but I will be doing a comparison video also coming soon with its rivals. But for now, I'm putting it out there. This is what it is. This is what I feel. I'm going to continue on the performance topic for all, because this is something which I have been getting 1001 questions from everybody. Dar, how can it be so expensive for something just a 1.5 liter? Come on, Dar, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody I've shown this car over the weekend I had the test car has been telling me the same thing. It makes no sense and they will never buy it. Not logic at all. And I was defending it because yes, the price is high, but guys, you need to drive it to feel the kind of feedback it gives when you're driving. Okay, as ridiculous as it sounds, okay, you guys know how the FT86 and the BRZ was received when it first came out. The power was damn low for a sports car. You know, 200 horsepower, NA, not much torque anyway, so it's damn low. But what was its selling point? The selling point was the fact that it drives really, really well. Now, I'm not saying this is as good as the 86. What I'm saying is I'm using it as an example, because it's about how the driver feels inside when he's driving the car and pushing the car. Because the feedback, guys, the feedback from the chassis, from the steering, from the tires, from the front axle, from the rear, the whole balance of the car, it is communicating with me 24/7. The whole time while I'm driving, I feel the car talking to me. I feel it telling me things. It has electric power steering, by the way, so it's not like it's a hydraulic one where I get more feedback. It's electric, and yet the steering is very nicely weighted. I can feel exactly what's going on with the front wheels, and I can tell what the chassis is doing. And this is before I even start to push the car hard around the corners. When I start to push it around the corners, then it goes into another world. Like I said again, nothing in the segment has this kind of balance for me. The way it communicates, when I tip it into a corner, the front will turn in. The way it manages understeer, because I tried to upset the car, because I mean that's how you find out if the car, what does it do when it gets upset, and the car refuses to give up. It's such a hard-working thing, you know, this GVC technology on the Mazda. It eliminates understeer, unless you're being absolutely stupid lah, that's different, but it eliminates understeer when you're pushing the car, and it allows the rear end to be a little bit playful but also in check. The traction control and all that, all the systems are always awake, always keeping an eye on things for you. Like, it allows you to drive hard and have fun without bringing the stress of, oh, I gotta catch the car, oh, I gotta pay attention so much because I'm pushing the car. And guys, that, I mean, we all know that that is a very nice feeling to have, when you can push the car hard and you can trust the fact that the car has got its shit figured out. You can push it hard and you just have to stay awake, you know, pay attention, but you don't need to work to a stressful point to keep the car under control. And that is something I can appreciate so much, also because it is running on Yokohama Blue Earth tires. Nothing wrong with them, but you know, when you're pushing cars hard, you would want the ultimate grip and all that kind of thing. But even on these tires, these are fairly good normal tires. No issues at all. And I will put my foot down in any debate for this car. Put aside price and all the nonsense. I'm talking about just how this car delivers power and the chassis is able to put it down. I will stand by this car all day, anytime. Come at me. Now that we're done with the exterior, it's time to move on to the interior. I've been dreading this a bit because, in all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of the interior. Let's start it up so that you guys can see. I'll shut the door so the engine noise less. Turn on the aircon a bit. Now start cooking. Off the radio. Is the radio off? Alright, okay. Okay, let's start with what I do like first. What I do like about the Mazda 3 sedans, the lowest one, the interior, is the fact that it is very simple. I like this over its competitors. The materials used are very nice. Like I said, guys, don't worry, this is my opinion. I like the fact that the screen sits in a little pocket over here. It has a classier feel like that, and it's not a typical square. It has this trapezoid kind of thing going on. And the system is not touchscreen, but the system is actually very intuitive, very smart. I've only had one small problem with this, is the fact that for some reason I could not add a new Bluetooth device. It just was blurred out like wait, let me go and show you guys how is it. Okay, go to settings, connectivity, Bluetooth. Oh shit, okay, now it says you can pair new device. So the past 3 days I've had this car, and I had Tiana with me as well, and we were figuring it out. There was no way. I off and on the car, reset to factory settings and all that, couldn't. But now suddenly when I on the car in the morning, it says can pair new device. So I take back what I said. Turns out it's fine. It's just that I guess sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. Anyway, so the system is very nice, very fast. You have Android Auto, you have Apple CarPlay, so all your mobile connection to the car is all that sorted out. So that's very nice to use. The space in the car is something I love a lot. You get a USB here. You can slide this back as an armrest, and then you get one little pocket with another USB, and then you get more space inside. So I like that a lot. And this whole thing has a very, like, the materials used in this car feel pricier than its segment. So I like that a lot. I like the space here. I like the simplicity of everything, because it's actually, this is an interior which I like a lot, especially this part. Nice to hold, spacious, easy to navigate, easy to use, simple spot on and off button over here, cup holders and all that. The aircon controls, they're a bit how do I say, they're a bit old school. That's the best way, because just simple knobs, no dials to show what temperature, like you can't see what temperature you're putting. So okay, I will admit that's a bit old. And then you come to the speedo. Okay, the instrument cluster, and the look of it is nice. You can adjust what you want to see over here. You want to see a full speedometer, or the details inside, or just your speed number and all that. Then you see the car on the lane lah. And then you get the fuel and everything along there. So as much as there's nothing wrong with it, the font and the digital displays, they do seem a little bit older, a bit less fancy for something of this budget. And I'm sorry, when I'm talking about the interior, I'm going to be mentioning a lot about the price, because this is for you guys out there. You guys are potential buyers, so I'm gonna have to be practical about it, although I like this car and I think it suits me. Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to be practical about it. Alright, then moving on to the steering wheel. The steering wheel is not something I like so much, although the feedback I like a lot, don't get me wrong. It's a physics of the steering wheel which I'm not a fan of, because I feel it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard, but it's also personal preference lah. It's a bit hard. I like this part. Okay, everything simple laid out. I like the material used here. Of course, it's probably not real metal lah, but it's very simple to use, toggle up and down and all that. And I find it quite large, which is not my thing. A little bit smaller would be nicer for me. And then you got the socks and all that inside there, very nice lah. Everything here and all that I love a lot. You can see that this is a low spec because there's a lot of things missing, because you don't get the iSense technology in this car. That means you don't get the cruise control, the radar cruise control, the collision warning. You don't get sensors front and back. I didn't want to mention it because I feel that is something people will be like, oh, and all that, but there is no parking sensor front and back, guys. You see, this is the kind of places where it's hard for me to stand up for this car. like, come on, no parking sensors front and back. That's a bit of a... That's a camera. There is a rear camera. I can show you guys that here. You put it into reverse. Okay, so there's rear camera. Everything works fine there. But that is a bit of a... It is what it is. Like, you guys make what you want of it. And then everything else is fine. Everything else, you get loads of space here and there. The pedal positioning, I know this is not something common for us to say, but the pedal positioning is so nice. I like the fact that it's a thin stick. There's enough space. And then the brake pedal feel is so nice. You get so much of space for your knees and all that, and my hairy legs. Like, I love the fact that you get this much of space in a car of this segment, which I did not experience with the other cars in this segment lah. The seats for this spec is not leather. You get cushion seats. Nice when you first get in it. I feel they bolster me quite well. It's nice for my back and all that. Very nice to sit against and all. I'm not sure what's it like on a long drive because I did not take it on a long cruise. But from what I have driven so far, I do like the seats. For its function, I like it. I don't see myself complaining in it for a long drive. But that's up to you guys and your back sides. And space at the back seems significant enough for a car of this segment. I have no complaints on this. You get the usual seating arrangement. One thing I tried yesterday when I was stuck in the car because it was raining, I need to get to the boot to get something. Me and the guy who takes all the drone footages, him and me, his name is Rishi, he's Dronegraphy, his Instagram page, you can follow there. We were trying to get to the boot because his equipment was in there from the back seat, and we couldn't find it, and that was actually a pain in the ass because then we had to go get wet in the rain. I'm not sure he couldn't find it, or let's see if I can open it from here. Top tether. No, this is for the baby seat. Baby seat. No. Yeah, looks like you cannot drop the seats from here. Yeah, it's one whole thing put together, but you can drop it from the boot. So you go to the boot, and then you realize that, oh, you cannot open the boot from the back. Mazda, you're not helping me here make an argument for your car. So you get in there. Where's the boot button there? Unlock, close the door, get to the boot. When you get to the boot, you realize that, okay, it's spacious. Yeah, like, it's genuinely spacious. I don't know the exact figures of how many liters and all. Then you can drop the seats here lah. Is that it? You just pull it like that, and then you push it down. Okay, yeah. So you just pull it and then you push it down like that lah. So that's already done. So that's how it's unlocked, and then yeah, it's already out here, no problem. So looks like there is no other tether to that lah. Then you push back, lock it in place. So yes, space is significant enough. The car weighs just under 1.4 tons, 1365 I think. So with one human on board, it's 1.4 tons, which I guess that fact that is pretty light. I would say it's light enough for something like this, and it helps with the handling because I don't feel the weight at all. I was actually expecting to see the weight figure at closer to 1.2 ish, maybe just over 1.3 rather than closer to 1.4, because it feels very light on its feet. I think the final drive and all that, which I mentioned earlier, helps there. There you have it, guys. That is my review on the Mazda 3 1.5 lowest spec. They don't have any, it's just Mazda 3 1.5. So as a car, I love it a lot. If you put aside the practicality of price and all that, as much as there are things I want tweaked on this, I do love the driving experience. Honestly, to know what I'm talking about, go ahead and drive it. You don't need to share my opinion, but this car deserves to be felt for what it is. The GVC plus vectoring technology on this car is something you cannot feel in other vehicles. I urge all of you to go and at least test drive it and experience that feeling where it relates to the driver so much. For that reason alone, I will top my hat to Mazda, because they have kept the soul of driving through these kind of cars. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, everything that Indian Talks Cars, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to bring you guys more and more content all the time. So take care and stay safe, everyone.